Ayo, Chiksua here. Today we're going to 3-turn the Demon KIMARA and also the Soldier MALEK. And because I'm a bit lazy, right, we are going to use the same team. And actually it's not because of laziness, it's because that way we only take one spot away of our pre-teams, and it's super annoying. I think you guys know that I think everyone hates that. So our T1 is on a attack crit damage build. So the crit chance rolls, don't mind them. I made them for final boss because that way you can crit easier. And yeah, if you're new on this channel, make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything, or join our Discord channel. Everything is in the description below, so that way you can always stay up to date. And it will of course also help me. And yeah, so Merlin doesn't really matter what gear we have, because obviously our main damage dealer are going to be Daddy Yeti and also our T1. So yeah, if you can't 3-turn this guy, for example, using Slater not just for his passive of decreasing the crit resistance, it's also super good because he has that seal for 2 turns. So KIMARA is basically, I would say, crippled. He can't use any cards, or at least he can't use the debuff cards, which are pretty annoying. And we're actually going to do that anyway. So we're going to move one time and get the ult of T1 and do this. So it's really hard to tell what is basically required. Maybe using a Sariel link is probably better than the Demon Melee link. But yeah, so depending on your ult level, you guys have to try that out. But for me, our T1 finally got like a 5-6 now. We are totally good to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attack with her. We're going to ult, we're going to move, and obviously afterwards we can buff then. So the reason why we attack into him is just to get the stack of Daddy Yeti, and then we easily kill. Here, for example, we got the crit. So we didn't even get the secondary damage of T1. So it's super simple. And then depending on that, I would say theoretically we want to use this card first, but let's just do it like this. So here, obviously, because we have buffs now, he has increased stats, right? No, so actually we want to attack with this, because I think if we don't do that, it may not kill, and every damage is basically very precious here because of all those buffs. So here, as you can see, we did 580k, and GG's 3 turns without any issue at all. So of course it really depends on how good your gear is on Daddy Yeti, but I think if you have a level 90 Daddy, especially for Guild Boss for example, or also a level 90 Link, you're pretty good to go. Now we are coming to the Soldier MALEK. So like I mentioned, he is also super easy, and I will of course show you guys another team as well, just so that you can also, maybe it's more free to play friendly. So what we're going to do is almost the same, just this time we're getting the ult of our Daddy Yeti. So we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we actually only need the buff and move here so that we secure to have those damage cards, because those damage cards will help us later. Because yeah, you have to test it out, whatever is needed, because maybe it's better to ult with T1 first, maybe it's ult, so for me it's better to ult with Daddy first, but it doesn't really matter that much because MALEK barely has any health. So here I can show you guys, his health is like 300k. So yeah, that's like nothing. So we are going to ult here. Of course, for some people it may be a lot, but yeah, if you have a stacked out Daddy Yeti, it's pretty easy. Especially we deal like a double amount of his health. So I think even if you have like a, let's say 1-6, I'm not too sure how much damage you will deal, but maybe you just have to put in some cards here. So what we want is we want to one-shot here. So maybe you have to shoot, or maybe you have to ult with Daddy Yeti in the second phase so that you can secure the one-shotting. And yeah, then you're just going to dive in the 3 remaining cards we have already, and then it's good to go. So here, as you can see, it's gonna be dead, and it's GG's within I'm not sure, 1.5 minutes we 3-turned this, or in like, let's say 6 minutes we did both. No, in less, but yeah, that's how easy it is. This time we're going to show you guys a more free to play friendly team for Demon KIMARA. So obviously it is pretty stacked out, so I'm not too sure what exactly is needed. But yeah, so this is our Demon Meliodas, and I think most of the people should have a very stacked out Demon Meliodas. And yeah, so the Gotha is in here just to increase the stats and stuff when we are going to kill, unless he gets poisoned. So it's quite of RNG if he gets poisoned or not, but we should be pretty good to go. So what we're going to do in the first turn is basically we're just going to get the ult of someone to kill, and obviously because of the buff stuff, we want to get the ult of our demon melee because he also is substituting T1, and we're going to move with Dariadi. So still, I think T1 is still more or less count as free-to-play friendly in my opinion, because there are not that many people who skipped T1, right? So this card draw is really great because we guarantee actually to kill now, unless he would have died, but I think he got targeted fully and didn't die, which is very nice. So because you have the weak point already from the corrosion, we can just ult. We are going to rank up our Daddy, we are going to attack, and we can just dump this card, and then we can basically hope for something. So usually we can't dump a card because we don't get that merger, so we got 1 bonus ult gauge, that's why we were able to do it. Damn, we one-shotted. We don't get the stack onto our Daddy, which is unfortunate. But yeah, sometimes I didn't one-shot, sometimes I do, so maybe it's because Gotha didn't get attacked, so you guys have to learn that. But yeah, it's pretty easy to basically 3-turn this as well. So we are going to buff with the golden. I don't think I need this attack card because it also increases the stats. So I think the ult should be one-shotting. I'm not 100% sure, but let's see. Okay, cool. This is how you can just 3-turn with even a free-to-play friendly team. Of course, I am aware that my units were 6-6, so I do sometimes get those comments, but oh, you have a 6-6 and I don't. But yeah, if you want to 3-turn something, or if you want to speedrun something, unfortunately you have to kind of invest something into that team. And I'm not talking about money, it's more like getting lucky and having 6-6 units, right? Or like better cards with Daddy. So if you have more cards, more stacks, you deal much more damage. So even if he increases the HP, it should be okay, but I can't guarantee. For our last showcase for the Malek, it's going to be a bit more free-to-play friendly as well. So melee, you saw already, Kyo is actually not really necessary. He's only here for utility, and also he can finish up some stuff, he can deal some damage. So the reason why I put in Kyo instead of the Slayer is Slayer decreases the crit resistance, but so far I have never been able to crit him, not even with Sever. So I think it's pretty much impossible to crit him, so it's not even worth to try. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to get the ult of our BDM. So you have to make sure that both sides don't die, else he's gonna hit harder. So what we're going to do is we are not going to hit him at all in the first turn. So that way we can guarantee. So I'm honestly not sure if the AoE kills or not, but if we don't use an AoE, it doesn't matter. And this boss has elemental disadvantage to blue units. So we are pretty good to go, and our demon melee gonna hit like, I think 600k with the ignite stacks, I'm not sure. So what we're going to do is we do this, we do this, we do this, and hey, who knows, maybe he does survive, but as again, he has only like 300k HP, so easy one shot, right? So of course, depending on whatever, maybe getting the T1 ult in turn 1 is maybe better. Just try it out and let me know in the comment section. So we are going to ult to trigger his passive, and yeah, then we're just going to dump in as much damage as we can. So this is the original card draw we got, and Kyo is, like I said, just to help us in dealing a bit more damage. So yeah, bye bye. And we didn't even need it, the Pierce. So yeah guys, that's basically it guys. That's how you can 3-turn both of the new event bosses, or more like the returning event bosses, without any issue, without any RNG. Of course, some good gear and ult levels is probably required. So in the Malek one, it's pretty easy, and KIMARA, it's a little bit harder, but if you use the Slayer and seal him, you definitely can clear it without any issue. I really hope it was helpful, and yeah, if it was, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out for now.